Hey, what is up guys? Welcome to a new video. It has been a while since I've shown my face and I've shown some records, tapes, whatever. So it's been a while since I've done it, so excuse me if I show you guys some duplicates. I am very sorry if I do. But after I've shown this, I'm all up to speed again. So it's gonna be a long one, as you can see by the timestamps. I have a fuck ton of music to show, some really rare stuff, some really cool stuff, some bootlegs here and there. So without further ado, let's dive in. And as my last update, I will be doing the album titles and stuff over there. So let's start off with the vinyl first. Green Day, Cable Guys. This is a 1998, I want to say, soundboard recording. Really old Green Day stuff. If they are available for a cheap price, I don't mind having a bootleg on vinyl. So then we have the Dark Throne and Mayhem, the true Legends in Black split. Yeah, I don't know a lot about this record, but it said it was limited to 666 copies. Just on black, but won't show that, so nice one to have in the collection for a dirty ass cheap price. Then we have Dead Within the Bondage of Vice. This is an official record. It is, I believe, on black vinyl. Let's check. Yeah, so legendary, I want to say German grindcore band. So happy to have something from Dead in the collection. And if I remember correctly, they have so much to collect, but if I can pick it up for dirt cheap, why not? Let's save these for... Oh, well, fuck it. I'm gonna show it tonight. This is the repress of Internal Decay's A Forgotten Dream. I got introduced by this band by their new stuff that is going to be the next vinyl, which is an EP, but this is the, I want to say, the first and only full length of the guys. Really happy that I managed to score this through Vic Records over here in the Netherlands, and it comes on a beautiful translucent blue vinyl, so really happy with that. Melodic, old school death metal. Well, back in the day it was just death metal, but also a bit of progressiveness in it. And that is mainly because of the weird time structures and stuff like that. I really fell in love immediately when I started to listen to this. Why won't you go back in? Let's start like that. And this works better. So really happy with the repress, because the original is way out of my league. And this is their newest one, Fires of the Forgotten. I'm currently working on a review of that, so I won't be diving into this really deep, so you have to wait for that review again. If you're one of the 2 people who actually watched it my website, you'll probably notice that I took it offline because I'm saving up money to do something else. So this comes on translucent red vinyl. But as you can hopefully see, on this side it has some etching going on with the logo there, so that's pretty cool. Label is just the logos. And the tracks. Really great comeback. And I hope they will produce something new in the near future, except for this, because we already have this. Alright. Bootleg again, but of Cannibal Corpse, Spawn of Maggots. I don't know where I found this again. I think I found it on Vinted or something. But yeah, this is limited to 100 copies. And it wasn't that cheap. It was like 15 euros or something. So to have this, it's quite fun. A lot of new tracks on there. Bloodstock Open Air in England. And this was a 2018 edition of that fest. And it comes on a very cool splatter vinyl. However, no no label art, which is kind of odd. Even for bootlegs, it's kind of weird that they don't have that. I will never probably give this a listen. However, it is nice again for a cheap price to have a bootleg. In my opinion, is quite cool. To pay like 60-70 euros for this, I would never ever have done that. So then we go to the Netherlands for the first ever full length of Northern Tongues. Again, if I've shown you this, sorry. God knows what I've been showing lately, but over here you have the label logo and over here the Northern Tongues logo. So really happy with this one. Northern Tongues is a harsh noise project from the Netherlands. And I'm really intrigued by Maurice's work. He has a gazillion other projects, but Northern Tongues is where I know him from. This is, by the way, called Spit at Me and Wreak Havoc on My Flesh. And one of these side projects that he does is this one, Golden Ashes. This is more ambient, as I can recall. I have not listened to this one yet in full, and it has been a while since I've listened to this project, but hopefully this will reignite my love for this kind of music. Alright, small backstory. I ordered this on Vinted without really looking at the advert, where it said, afterwards I looked at it, it said vinyl only, so no jacket. So I got presented with this, but this is a brutal death metal record from Vomit Remnants, and this is the, I want to say the EP, Eastern Beast. Yeah, so bit of a bummer. But hopefully one day I'll have a complete copy. So, then we have the, I believe I have shown this, but Regiment with On les aura. Yeah, it's French nationalistic black metal, if I'm not correct. Comes on a really cool red vinyl, and comes with a poster, which I will show you guys in a sec, which is like a propaganda poster, either way around. As far as I know, not an S, but nationalistic nonetheless, because shit. So, yeah, cool stuff. All right. Other small backstory. I ordered this when I was still living in Haarlem, which was a fucking long while ago. But this got delayed and delayed and delayed so much. But I also wanted it signed. So basically, I had to wait for a very long time. Then it finally arrived. But this is the... I have to look up the name because it's unreadable. The Phosphorus with Planets Octonos. There we go. Amazing fucking artwork. So if I haven't shown you this, I love this record. It is called something like Cyber Grind, and as you can see, it is signed by the band. Comes with a lot of stuff. So over here I have the information and stuff. Looks absolutely fucking gorgeous. Lyrics where you can scream with them. Stickers and other stuff. I guess there was even more. A poster of the artwork, which looks awesome. This will be a very long video, not as long as Infidel Amsterdam's video, but I'll do my best to basically go ahead and make one myself. And the vinyl is limited to 100 copies on this beautiful purple vinyl, which looks amazing. So if you're in for some heavy stuff and fast-paced stuff as well, please go and check out the Phosphorus with Planet Doctonus. Jesus, I hate saying that word as a Dutch guy, so sorry guys. Alright. Yeah, let's go for this one. I went to see Lorna Shore in the AFAS in the Netherlands, and they had Humanity's Last Breath, Shadow of Intent, and some local band called Whitechapel with them. And everything falls out. And I bought the signed vinyl copy. It was way too expensive, but fuck yeah. This is actually the album that got me into Whitechapel, which is quite weird because it's been a release from last year. But holy shit. For me, the band of the evening was Whitechapel. Comes with a Bandcamp thing. I think I already gave it to Ryan, but that's always what I do with Bandcamp stuff. It comes with a lyric sheet, which is stuck in here. But it was really expensive. But when I opened it, I didn't care about the vinyl about the price anymore, because this is the fucking vinyl. Woo! Holy shit. This looks fucking awesome, in my opinion. So I am really happy to have this phenomenal deathcore record in my collection. And to have your first item also being signed by the band, which actually they came pre-signed. Yeah, to have this in the collection is really fucking cool. Last vinyl to show you guys, then we move over to tapes. This was my album of the year last year. You'll probably think I'm biased, and I am, because this is Way Home from Kawan. When this got announced, I immediately went for it. There's something in here, which is a booklet, a final size booklet, which looks amazing. I bought it. I pre-ordered it the minute the pre-orders came up, which is not really a thing that I do, but fuck it. For this band, I will do that. It came on a white vinyl. This band has done nothing shitty for me. This band is always a 9 out of 10 for me, because there are almost no 10 out of 10 albums. So this was my album of the year last year, by the way, if you want to know. Alright, gotta take a sip, because we're already in for almost 14 minutes, I want to say, so. Alright, let's move over to the tapes. I've been discovering new labels lately, and this Dutch label called Intuit Records have piqued my eye a lot, to say the least. And he is releasing like extremely well priced music, and this one is also another example of his amazing releases. He is releasing old school tapes, and to have these in the collection is phenomenal. So these are the albums by Dark Millennium, and I'm gonna show them all at once, because this video will be too long anyway. But this is the Apocryphal Wisdom. Yep. I'll just put the name somewhere so you can find out yourself. Dark Millennium with of Scepter, their ashes, also of Scepter, their ashes may be. Yeah. And Around the Celestial Burden. Excellent old school death metal mixed with some odd influences here and there. So, the next few, and let's save that one for last. I think, yeah. These are also by Intuit Records, and this one is from the Dutch band Bodyform with their album Dreadlord, which looks awesome, and normally it's like this, but looks better like that, in my opinion. And this legendary Dutch band has been through some shit, some lineup changes, I believe even some unwanted lineup changes, but their music has stayed awesome. Comes in this really cool looking turquoise cassette tape. Wow, morning. Then we have Sorcery with the Rivers of the Dead. Really old school release of this old school band. I believe they're from Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. So, really cool stuff. Most of these sell out within the first few hours. So, if you want any of these, please follow the socials from Intuit Records, because they're gone before you know. This one is Ill Disposed, I believe the Danish band, The Winter of Discontent. And this is again a very good release of Ill Disposed, and a good release from Intuit Records. There we go. Really cool. And the actual how do you say, when they put it on tapes, the thingy over it is done really fucking well. The transfer, that was the one. Transfer from old school tape to new school tape is done really fucking well. High quality stuff. So, then we got two tapes from, two tapes from Dissonant Tapes, and I bought these through Intuit Records, so I'm gonna show them anyway. Two from the same band, Demolition Hammer with Tortured Existence and Epidemic of Violence. So this is the Tortured Existence one, and comes on a very, for me, nationalistic orange color, and matches the artwork a bit, so that's really fucking cool. Really fucking awesome death metal mixed with some hardcore and thrash metal into it. And this one is The Epidemic of Violence. So it's really cool to have these albums on any format in the collection. So I fucking love that. And this comes on a blue tape, which looks a bit purple if you turn it like this, but trust me, it is fucking blue. And then these are from Rotten Despire Music. I've never heard of that. But this one is Benediction with the Dreams You Dread. And these are all official, guys. You cannot get them anymore through Intuit Records, but to have something so old school in your collection is really fucking awesome. And also for the prices, that all of these are below 10 euros, by the way. So keep an eye out on Intuit Records. They do drops every month, I want to say, so that's really fucking cool. This one I haven't opened yet, but this is Gormand with Obsequiate. obsequious. I don't know how to pronounce it, guys. Sorry. So, but this is on a clear tape with the logo. I want to say embossed on it, so that's pretty darn awesome. Are these from there as well? No. All right. So Don was saying Intuit Records. We're gonna go back to Maurice from Northern Tongues because he is doing another side project, and that is called Hagedisse. And Hagedisse with To Wither Beneath Thy Radiance. And as you can see, I haven't opened it yet. But this is a release through Void Wanderer Productions. Again, really great Dutch label. Comes on this. I've had too many Heineken beers. This yellow. So excellent stuff. And then we have an independent release by the band called Executioner's Blade from, I want to say, Finland, if I'm correct, with First Execution. Surprise, surprise, it's their first release, so First Execution. Excellent stuff. Go check it out in the description, guys. I put it every single album that I'm going to show you in there. Tape looks amazing. Great stuff. All right. And then we have another Dutch label that puts out every single time. They put out gold every single time. I'm talking about Night Terror Records, and I've talked about this album multiple times. This is Reek Mind, Mired in the Reek of Grief. Excellent stuff, guys. Go check it out. Filthy doom death, with the emphasis a little bit more on the doom side. Excellent stuff. I fucking love this record. I even got the death press of it, to say the least. And then they have done another release with Flagello with Insatiable. I don't know how to pronounce that, guys, but this is the artwork. That's how you pronounce it. Will also be here, but... And this is some nasty stuff, guys. Highly recommended if you are a fan of the whole new wave of old school doomish death metal. So tape looks fucking amazing, and on the other side it features the band logo. I love how this one looks. So all right, 7 tapes left. This one is a bootleg, but I got it for a few euros. This is Nihilism with Only Shreds Remain. This is their demo, 3 tracks, if I'm not mistaken. I got this for a few bucks online, I think. So yeah, sound quality isn't that good, to be honest, but hey, it's going to be there mostly for show, so really cool to have it. Same goes with this one. This is also not done really good. However, this is Autopsy with Critical Madness. I like that. And if I show you guys this, I am sorry. Hey, there we go. I don't know if this goes like that. So, of course, this is a reproduction of the original, but they made it look good. So the next one I bought in a lot on Vinted again. I will go through these real quick. I think they're original, but they've all been signed by the band. Maniac Butcher with Epitaph, and as you can see, they're signed, which is cool. So we'll not go through them individually, I'll just show them. Invase, I want to say, something like that. There we go. Also signed by the vocalist, if I'm correct. Barbarians by Maniac Butcher. And I'm not gonna pronounce this, but there's one. So it's cool to have some signed stuff in the collection. By Maniac Butcher. So Sherna Krev, I don't know. So those were the tapes, guys. So we have one format left, and that's where I have the most of. So 25 minutes already in. I think I'm going to be surpassing my previous video. So I'll show you these first because as you probably know, I am a huge fan of the fantasy festival called Casafest. And when this lady popped up on Vinted, she threw in with my order some compilation CDs of said festival. So she gave me these for free, and these are all compilations of the festival 2011, 2014, and 2015. They've been doing them for every single year, I want to say, and I've been going for as many years as I possibly can. But these are all like medieval style of music, so even though I'm probably gonna show more metal after this, but I am going to show these anyway. These are from the band Corvus Corax with Cantus Buranus, Das Orgelwerk, and Cantus Buranus 2. So this is the Orgelwerk, and this is Corvus Corax Cantus Buranus 2. Really cool stuff to listen to if you are not into the mood of any death metal related shit. So again, some more stuff, folky type of stuff. This is Omnia with History, some decent stuff. And then this one is called Cyber Shaman. This really weird music if you're not familiar with it. It's not like music that you put on like every single day, to be honest. I believe this one was signed, if I am correct. No, this one was. My bad. But this one is Pagan Folk by Omnia. And then we have the last one. Was this signed? There was a signed CD in this lot. So. But this is music and poetry, because they're very into nature and stuff. And then we have Theodore Bastard, and this one signed. Sorry guys, there was one album signed, and I want to show that because I'm already talking about it. But yeah, this is Theodore Bastard with Oikumene. Yeah, I love the artwork on this one, by the way. Really fan of that. Then we have a Theodore Bastard with Vetvi. And this is a real cool release because it opens up at the top, which is pretty cool. So I should have checked this before I did the video, but fuck, it's already quite long, this video. So. But yeah, this is Vetbedin. I believe they're from Russia, so I could be so wrong. But it's in Cyrillic, I think, so yeah. And then we have 3 albums of the band Irfan. And no, all right, I quit looking for it. So, but this is the album, also in an undescribable language. I believe this is the first one from Irfan. And then we have Seraphim. There we go. I'll just go through these a little bit quicker. And then the Eternal Return. Okay, yeah. And the Eternal Return by Irfan. And the last 2 are from Eusen, and that's where few Heilung members are actually part of. So it's quite cool to have some Heilung related music, and that's Maria, the vocalist from Heilung, with their album Sequel. And this is the other album from Eusen called Eudaimonia. So. Alright, I know you're sick and tired of me showing non-metal stuff, so let's dive into some metal stuff. I believe the first album that I'm going to show you is from the first gig I went to this year. No, correct, I could be wrong, but this is Abbey Falls with Hell is Other People. I believe it was Abbey Falls. Was this Abbey Falls? Yeah, Abbey Falls with Hell is Other People. Excellent modern day deathcore, or metalcore, sorry. Then we have some legendary Dutch thrash legends in the vein of Legion of the Damned. I still need to get into this band with my whole attention span being like 5 seconds of listening to an album, and then good. But yeah, this is called The Poison Chalice, and I really want to dive into more of this project. So I'm really intrigued to listen to this band more and more. Then we have a band called The Great Old Ones with EOD, A Tale of Dark Legacy, which is signed, which I do know. There we go. Really cool to have the band have signed this CD. There we go. Alright, some brutal stuff upcoming, guys. With this being a release from Acrania. Maybe you remember them from the mid to late 2010s, I want to say. With the beginning of the end. Absolutely fucking brutal deathcore mixed with slam. And I actually saw these guys play live once under a different name, which I totally forgot. But yeah, Luke Griffin might sound familiar, but the one that sounds more familiar is Jack Simmons, who is, I believe now, the guitarist in Slaughter to Reveal. The first 2026 album I'm going to show you guys is White Out by Acranius. And Acranius is one of those bands that have never made a bad record, in my opinion. They've been doing this for a long while, and I love playing this type of music on guitar and listening to it as well. Then we have a band that I'm not familiar with because it was a freebie. This is called Battle Lore with Where the Shadows Lie. There we go. In my opinion, looks quite nice. So if you know anything more about that band, please let me know. Alright, let's take it out of the sleeve, because this is again some brutal stuff with Infecting the Swarm with Pulsing Coalescence. And Infecting the Swarm is some amazing technical brutal death metal mixed with some slam elements in there as well. Let's put that back. And then we have a band that I'm going to finally see play live at Grasspop. This is called Bloodywood. I believe Bloodywood is playing in Grasspop, so correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, really cheap digipack. But yeah, the music is fun to listen to while you're driving. So this is a 2025 release, I want to say, from Bloodywood. They're a band from India, and that's their album New psychedelia, so like in new metal. Okay, then we go to our southern neighbors, and that is Belgium, for the legendary, probably most known Belgian band called Amenra, or Amenra, just you want to say it, with one of their EPs called With Fang and Claw. I don't know how you can. Either way, Amenra is one of the most amazing projects that you have to listen to. If you're a fan of atmospheric doom metal, you will absolutely love this. This is chock full of emotion, and all of the Church of Ra releases, go check it out. Alright, back to some generic stuff. This is Behemoth with Opus Contra Natfram. To me, this is a filler album. Nothing really special. However, the song The Deathless Sun is, in my opinion, a really good song. So go check that one out. Alright. Then again, a bootleg from a local band. Yeah. So this was around the St. Anger area. Really cheap bootleg. But yeah, I like some bootlegs, especially when they're really fucking cheap. So really happy with that. Alright. I have bought some CDs. Surprise, but they came without a jewel case, so the seller provided me with these sleeves, which looks pretty darn awesome. But this is the Slam band Slamophiliac with Slam Obsessed, so really old pure Slam album from back in the day when I was discovering Slam. Then we have Gutted with Mankind Carries the Seeds of Hell. Really brutal stuff. I'm not gonna talk a lot about every single freaking album because it will take ages. So check it out in the comments, or in the description, sorry. This is Dysentery from Past Suffering Comes New Flesh. So really fucking brutal stuff, released through Amputated Vein Records. Alright, which stack? This one. This is, I believe, the first release from this band, Begging for Incest, Awaiting the Fist. Again, if I've shown you guys this before, I am so sorry. Really cool, brutal, technical deathcore, really cool stuff. Alright, then we have some, I believe, some Viking stuff from Ulvedin. These were all in a somewhat blind buy, so I still need to listen to this one. If you have, please let me know. Then we have Carved in Stone, Tales of Glory and Tragedy. Also, have not listened to it yet because I still need to import them to Music B. But I do, but I am familiar with Managarm with Vargaresa The Beginning. Really good Viking black death metal, which leans a little bit more, in my opinion, to the black metal. But these are the demos from 1996 and 1997. Really great stuff. I like it. Alright, again, yeah, I needed to have this. I didn't know that I didn't have that one. So Master of Puppets by Metallica. Then we go to some brutal death metal again, but from the Netherlands. This is Contorted Mind with Tome of Atrocious Revelation. Sadly not around anymore, but these guys have been around the block for a while. Some are still playing music, some of them aren't anymore. But really cool. My name is right there. Right there. Cool. Yeah. I know these guys for a long while, and I am currently only in contact with Jan, who was also the drummer for Brodekin for a short while. Alright, I think I have shown you guys these, but I don't know anymore. Separation with Pain and Suffering, some grindy death metal, with what I can remember. So then we have some really brutal stuff by Enfrenzied with Banishment of Sentient Miscreations. I've done a review of this, so I want to say go watch my website, but that's offline right now, so believe me that this is some really brutal stuff. To talk about brutal stuff, one of the legends of making brutal music, Devourment, with their demo called Impaled. Amazing release, guys. Of course, a real repress, of course, through Corpse Gristle and some other label that I'm not familiar with. Pathologically Explicit Records, sorry. So, pretty cool to have that in the collection. Then we have Primordial with Storm Before Calm. Really cool to have some old school Primordial in the collection. Alright, then we have this one. And this is a promo, and I do like promos from time to time. But this one is quite special. This is Amorphis with Tales from the Thousand Lakes promo, which is nice to have. People absolutely despise promos like these. I actually quite like them. CD is very scratched though. It does still play, but I'm not gonna be playing this a lot because I don't want to damage it anymore. So cool to have that in the collection. Alright, then we have some modern metalcore in the vein of Maya. In the vein of Veil of Maya. What a terrible way to say that. But yeah, Oakheart. And again, I love this when bands do different covers after their Oakheart or on their Oakheart. Really cool stuff that Veil of Maya has done that. So if you're familiar with Veil of Maya, really great stuff. Alright, then we go to, I believe, Germany. And this is a real dark cover, so sorry if you cannot see it. I'll just put a photo up somewhere. So this is Imperium Decadence with We Are Forgotten. Excellent black metal. If you are a fan of the long dragging songs with excellently executed riffs and music style like Ultha, go check that one out, guys. And I do have the other one here as well, Into Sorrow Evermore. Really happy to have something of Imperium Decadence. And then I found these on Vinted, and this is the debut of Karach Angren Lammendam. And when I found out when they came in that these are the first presses, which is fucking awesome, because after the next one, which is also first press, Death Came Through Apprenticeship, they got signed to I want to say Seasons of Mist, but to have the first presses in my collection is fucking cool. And these are the only two Karach Angren records that I come back to. I don't like the other stuff, but eventually I'll buy them because just to make their discography complete. So the next two are from a deathcore band called deathcore hardcore-ish band called the Acacia Strain with The Dead Walk. Really great band if you're familiar with the whole project. I've seen them live, I want to say last year, and they blew me the fuck away. I only knew them from the, in my opinion, meme song the Tactical Nuke. But when I saw them live, I got blown away by them. And I also bought this album, Death is the Only Mortal. And I believe this kind of artwork is synonymous with the Acacia strain, so I still need to get that Wormwood album, which is really fucking nice. Alright, the next two are from a band I also saw last year called Born of Osiris with The New Rain. And I believe this is their first record, I want to say. So correct me if I am wrong. Really great metalcore. And this is the Discovery from them as well. Released through Sumerian Records. So I'm really happy to have some of Born of Osiris in my collection. Alright, then we will brutal it up a bit more because we are going to Shrine of Malice. And these are the Reality Fate represses. This is so fucking brutal stuff. Absolutely fucking love this band. And Malignance both have such good tracks on it. I love that album. Alright, so from some really brutal stuff, then we go to atmospheric ambient music by the band or the project Vorndom. This is Vliegt, his album. And this is, yeah, how do you want to say it? Viking background music. If that is your stuff, like it is mine, go check that one out. And this is Dauthra Dukra. Really dark again. Sorry for the glare, but really amazing stuff. If you're just focusing, need to focus or something, go check that one out. Just put it up in your background music or on your headphones or whatever. You will have a blast. Alright, the next few, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are from the same band. And from the same seller that didn't have any jewel cases. But this is Gorepod. All of these are from Gorepod, so I'll just go through the full albums. First, this is All You Can Smoke. This is Fermenting the Shiva Seeds. Sorry. And this is Happy Hour. And then we have Extreme Bongfest 2. And then they're split with Animals Killing People called Maleficus the Saltu. Brutal stuff, guys. One of the most brutal grindcore bands that I know. Alright. Then I will have a couple of, well, actually 7 of one band. And I am talking about a band called Vader. And I'm actually gonna see Vader alongside Blood Red Throne and Cataclysm in a neighboring town, which is fucking amazing because the last time I saw Vader was in that town in a venue that doesn't exist anymore. So that's really cool. But this is Revelations, and Vader is one of those bands that have been putting out like stellar records every single time. They don't lose their interest, but they haven't exploded onto the scene like other bands have did. But god damn, this is a steady fucking brutal band. This is the Ultimate Incantation. I never liked this artwork, to be honest, but okay. Reborn in Chaos, which is, I believe, a live track or a compilation. I could be wrong. And then we have Live in Japan, which is a live album. Surprise, surprise. Back to the Blind. I used to have a shirt for this, like an original shirt. And then I became fat and couldn't fit it anymore. This is Litany. I believe this is Ryan Metal Viking 82's favorite Vader record, but mine is this one, Impressions in Blood, and this is the slipcase version, and this is the artwork that you probably remember. And this also has the, I believe their most famous song, in my opinion, Hallelujah, God is Dead. Everybody knows that song. I don't think they play it live anymore, but goddamn, they have some other songs that you can listen to and love. So I'm gonna see fucking Vader. Hopefully I can videotape some of that set and put it online, but fuck me, it's gonna be amazing. And the last CD that I'm going to show you guys is a box set. And this box set completes my full-length collection of Aborted. This is TerraVision box set, which looks fucking amazing. They just announced a tour, which I am fucking happy about. They're gonna tour with Surreption, Disembodied Tyrant, Aborted, and Shadow of Intent, which is fucking awesome. TerraVision, and comes with a patch and a flag, which I will try to unfold, which looks fucking nasty. And I'm gonna put that back off camera. But now I have Necrotic Manifesto, this one, and which I don't know what the other one was with the box set, but I have that box set as well. So to have all of these box sets done with Aborted full-length collections, so that is fucking awesome to have all of these in any shape, way, or form, because I have a few on vinyl and I have a few on CD. So yeah, all right, we've been caught up with showing all of the shit that I got lately. Sorry for it basically being like 54 minutes, almost an hour. You have to listen to me yap on camera, which is way too long actually. But I do have 2 books, but that's where my camera is actually balancing on the so really bad preparation. But that's the Swedish death metal, yeah, basically encyclopedia, and the Maxim Takardi KFR Book of Death book. So I am really happy with those 2. Maybe I'll make a separate video about that. But yeah, to say the least, thank you guys for basically watching this whole fucking video with me. I don't know if a lot of people have stuck to the end, but either way, thank you so much. If you want to see me more often, I have a separate channel called The Vent. We talk about movies, we talk about basically everything movie related, special editions, movie reviews. So if you want to see my face a little bit more, go to that. I'll put the link in the description for you guys to find my face and to listen to me and my friend talk a little bit more about movies and soundtracks and whatever movie related. So I'm dragging this way too much. Thank you guys for watching. From me and my stupid lip, have a nice day, and I'll see you soon.